is NBC4 News at 5.
We are bonded forever. Those are among the first comments of the Artemis 2 crew today.
As return from San Diego to Houston today, and they were greeted with thundering applause at NASA's Johnson Space Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Artemis 2 crew.
You're looking here at a crew of firsts, the first humans to see that particular far side of the moon, the humans to travel the farthest from Earth ever. Christina Koch was the first woman to do it. Glover, the first person of color, and Hansen, the first non-American on a lunar mission.
And while this celebration was underway in Houston, the Navy in San Diego honored the sailors today who were the first to welcome this crew home. NBC4's Amber Frias joins us now live from Coronado with more. Amber?
Hey, Kathy, Jonathan. Yeah, we are right across the way from the naval base, across the water, I should say, from the Navy base where USS John P. Martha is docked along with Orion. And we were able to get pretty close to the capsule today. This is the first time I would say it's available to the public since it made the splashdown yesterday in the ocean. We were about a few feet from it. It was really cool to see it up close, especially after seeing all those videos of it, coming through our atmosphere yesterday and splashing down here off the coast of San Diego. Now, the Navy spoke a little bit about, what happened right after that splashdown. They told us that their divers were some of the first on board the capsule to try and reach the astronauts. They told us after they were able to get the astronauts out, they spent all afternoon yesterday recovering the capsule from the ocean. And as soon as they secured the astronauts, crews began working to retrieve the capsule as well. Around 2 p.m. today, it was brought into the naval base aboard USS John P. Martha. Soon after, the Navy and NASA held a ceremonial welcome recognizing the efforts of everyone involved in the recovery operation. And during a news conference following the ceremony, Navy officials said they trained with NASA for more than a year to prepare for the mission. The training, they said, included visits to the Kennedy Space Center and exercises using a mock capsule to simulate different recovery scenarios at sea. Officials say the success of the mission highlights what can be accomplished through coordination and teamwork.
We are the safety net, we are the coordinators, and when required, we are the responders. So while the world watched Artemis 2 push the boundaries of exploration, we were focused on the moment it returned. Because in the end, success isn't just reaching the moon. Success is bringing our astronauts home safely, securely, with absolute confidence in the system that supports them.
And the capsule will remain aboard John P. Martha on base for several days while NASA continues to prepare it to send it back out to Florida, where they will continue their analysis. But for now, reporting live from Coronado, Amber Frias, NBC4 News.
Really no rest for the weary because they start with the next missions. Yes. All right, Amber, thank you so much.
And space exploration to the moon is really just getting started again. NASA already looking ahead to its next missions, which includes a commercial landers test next year. A historic lunar landing is expected in early 2028 with a lunar surface mission by the end of that year. After that, additional missions could happen on an annual basis.
The Artemis mission is generating new interest in space travel and science, and the timing couldn't be better for this annual event at the Griffith Observatory. Yuri's Night Los Angeles is an all-day celebration of the first human spaceflight. People of all ages are enjoying interactive exhibits, demonstrations, even talks from astronauts.
It's been a really special time for the space community in Los Angeles, and at Griffith Observatory, we're LA's home for public astronomy, so we are always here to create an amazing space experience.
This is the 25th anniversary of Yuri's Night Los Angeles. General admission is free, and it runs until 10 o'clock tonight.
Let's turn now to our weather. Heading outside and looking over downtown LA. Mostly clear skies out there. We are tracking, though, the possibility of rain tonight and into tomorrow. Let's check in now with meteorologist Stephanie Elmo. Stephanie.
Yeah, you're checking out that picture in this picture of Long Beach, and you're like, wait, what? Rain is coming? Right now, enjoy it because it is beautiful. We get to enjoy plenty of sunshine, and temperature-wise, we're doing good. As we go over here and talk about the conditions, as we go over the satellite and radar, was earlier today we had a few isolated showers, for example, around Orange County. Really didn't amount to a whole lot. Some areas saw maybe a trace or so. The mostly quiet conditions holding up, a few patches of clouds, especially up in the area mountains. But we zoom out. We're watching this area of low pressure that is inching its way closer, already bringing some wet weather across northern and central California. You see that frontal boundary with it, but out ahead of it, we are feeling those winds, especially up in the deserts, where we're looking at a wind gust over 30 miles an hour. In Lancaster and Victorville, gusting pretty good in other areas like Anaheim, Riverside, and Ontario, where we're seeing gusts over 20 miles an hour. So what's to be expected? We are tracking the next line of rain arriving late tonight, primarily during the overnight hours, early tomorrow morning. There is a threat for some thunderstorms tomorrow morning, gusty winds as well. Is likely going to cause some travel delays, and also watch for isolated flooding. We'll have more on the timeline of this next storm coming up here shortly. For now, back to you guys.
Stephanie, thank you. Developing now, police are searching for a man they say attacked a woman on a Metro bus in downtown LA early this morning.
NBC4's Tracy Leong is live in downtown where it happened with some reaction from concerned riders. Tracy.
Yeah, Jonathan and Kathy, the attack happened on the Metro bus as it was approaching this bus stop right behind me on Grand and Olympic. As you mentioned, LAPD said it happened early this morning, just before 7 on the Metro line 76. According to police, a man on board the bus stabbed another passenger. Police described the attacker as a man around 20 to 30 years old, wearing a black hat and a gray sweatshirt, armed with a knife. By the time officers arrived, the attacker had already left the bus. They searched the surrounding area but were unable to locate him. The woman who was stabbed was attacked in the midsection. The LA Fire Department took the injured woman to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. We spoke to people who use the Metro. They say safety is always a concern while riding.
As far as like public transportation goes, I think that's just like one of the assumed risks. I lived in New York City for a year, and it's like similar problems exist there. So it's kind of just like an understood risk that you kind of have to take on when you do decide to take public transport. It's obviously like very sad, and that shouldn't be the reality that we live in. And you should always practice like vigilance and like really, be careful. Just have a good sense of your surroundings.
Metro released a statement saying they are aware of the stabbing and encouraged anyone who may have information to contact the LAPD. Reporting live in downtown LA, Tracy Leong, NBC4 News.
Tracy, thank you. A man is dead after being hit by 2 vehicles in Winnetka. Around 10 last night, police say a black Chevy Camaro hit the man at Winnetka Avenue and Sherman Way. Authorities say the man was outside the crosswalk when he was hit. He was then hit by a second vehicle, a white Ford truck, while lying in the road. Both drivers took off, but detectives found vehicle parts at the scene. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the LAPD.
We are following more fallout for Democratic Congressman and California gubernatorial candidate Eric Swalwell as he continues to face allegations of sexual misconduct. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office confirming today it is now investigating an alleged incident involving Swalwell in New York City. The probe follows a CNN and San Francisco Chronicle report detailing those allegations. NBC Los Angeles has not independently verified the claims, which Swalwell continues to deny. Several prominent Democrats, however, including Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi, are now calling on Swalwell to drop out of the governor's race, where he has been a leading Democratic candidate.
In just a matter of days, teachers and staff at LAUSD schools could walk off the job. If the strike happens on Tuesday, it'll shut down every campus in the largest school district, second largest in the country. And that means parents could be left scrambling to find childcare. Today, both sides are meeting for another key bargaining session. Educators and support staff want a 17% raise over 2 years. The district is offering about half of that. If there is a strike, the district says it will offer online learning and set up food distribution sites. And turning now to the war in the Middle East, and the U.S. addressing a major flashpoint in the ongoing conflict. Navy destroyers are now conducting operations in the Strait oil. Iranian state media says Iran is determined not to allow any ships to pass without authorization. It comes as Vice President J.D. Vance meets with an Iranian delegation in Pakistan for peace talks.
Now a live look at LAX, where we've learned there were 2 close calls on runways there this week. The FAA says that air traffic control canceled the takeoff clearance for this Air France flight to Paris on Wednesday. It all happened because a smaller plane turned onto the runway without authorization. And that moment happened just hours before this other close call at LAX. The pilot of a Frontier jet had to slam on the brakes to avoid hitting 2 service trucks that were crossing the runway. NBC's Morgan Chesky has more.
At LAX, the pilot's voice broke through almost in disbelief. The call to air traffic control coming around 11 p.m. Wednesday, when a Frontier flight bound for Atlanta was cut off before it could take off.
2 trucks cut off Frontier at Kilo and Bravo at the service road.
The red-eye carrying more than 200 passengers and 7 crew, barely missing not 1, but 2 vehicles. One pilot sounding the alarm. The FAA confirming Flight 3216 was taxiing when several service vehicles on a service road crossed in front of the aircraft.
What concerned me about this event is there seems to have been a miscommunication.
Jeff Gazzetti is a former NTSB investigator.
Who exactly